Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro friends. I would love to say that this is business as usual, but it's not. And so a couple of housekeeping things. The Daily Coffee Pro is going to be coming out every single day, live, 7 days a week, from now until the end of what's happening with the coronavirus. Second of all, you can see that there's a live chat wherever you're watching this, if you're watching it live. Usually I don't look at the live chat during the Daily Coffee Pro at the moment. If you have any questions, type them into the live chat. This is interactive right now. If you're listening to this later or watching this not live, ask in the comments or send an email, support@mapitforward.org. This is the first of, I don't know how long this series is going to go, but we're talking about the coronavirus and the coffee industry. I don't think I have ever been nervous about any episodes of the podcast, whether it's the Map It Forward podcast or the Daily Coffee Pro. I was today. And what I'm going to promise you from here, as I always do, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be vulnerable with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sensationalize anything. We're only going to talk about facts, and we are going to somehow get through all of this together. So, today we're going to focus on real talk, what's really going on. And before I get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to Anne Cooper for taking care of the Daily Coffee Pro last week. I was supposed to be at Coffee Fest in New York, and I guess this is the best way to start what I wanted to talk about today. I was supposed to be at Coffee Fest last week. I felt very nervous about going. On the way to the airport, I asked for a sign of whether I should go or not. The folks from Coffee Fest were fantastic. They said, if you have any reservations about coming, you don't have to come. We will explain it to the people attending your workshop. I didn't want to let anybody down, so I decided to go anyway, regardless of my reservations. And on the way, I asked for a sign about whether I should go or not, and my flight was cancelled. As I was leaving the airport, somebody coughed virtually in my face. I'm like, okay. I anticipated that I was going to get the virus at some point. I think we all will. And about 4 days later, I started noticing that I was getting a fever. And so I had been prepared. I have been trying to get our whole industry to pay attention to this for a couple of months now. So I was myself prepared. As soon as I measured my temperature and realized I did have a fever, I closed my front door and didn't leave, and haven't left since. And my symptoms escalated to a sore body, a cough, light respiratory pressure, but I was fine within about 30 hours. So to confirm 100% with a test that I had coronavirus or COVID-19, I can't, because there was no point wasting a test on me. And even if I wanted to get tested, there are no tests. There still aren't tests in San Diego that I can go and take and get. But I have, from other than a 100% confirmation that I had it, I can tell you that I had it. No congestion. I didn't use a single tissue while I had it. And I had it for a day and a half. I'm very healthy, and so I am fine with that, but I'm now day 5 into a quarantine. I started with this just to let you know that if you are nervous about getting it, that was my experience of having it. I cannot tell you what your experience of having it is going to be, but that was just my experience. If you're a healthy person, by all accounts, they're saying that it's not going to be a major problem for you. As soon as I knew that I had it, I got into bed. I had people around me virtually contacting me on the phone and on the internet, just checking on me. I told a couple of people I had it so that they could keep monitoring me, and I was fine. Right before we got onto this onto this podcast, the President of the United States did a press conference, which is why we started a couple minutes late. I wanted to check on the latest information. Now, what we're going to do every day is talk about what we actually know. We are not going to hype any kind of opinions or thoughts or hypotheses or anything like that. This is going to be a place and a space of calm. The other thing that we're going to do, other than this podcast every day, we will do an Instagram live every single day for an hour, if up to an hour, on the Map It Forward Instagram. So go to @IMapItForward and follow us there, and you can join us. That will be a space where you can ask questions, you can share your experiences, you can talk about how you're experiencing isolation, and I will talk about what isolation is like. As I said, I'm into day 5 of that. And from what the president's saying, everyone will have to go into isolation pretty soon. Now, the other thing that I want to mention that Map It Forward is going to be doing for the whole industry, we're putting the call out that if you are a marketing manager or a business owner looking to spend dollars on advertising, what we are going to do is invite you to get ad sponsorship on this podcast, and we are going to take 100% of that money and we are going to use it to hire freelancers from within the coffee industry who are currently isolated and at home, and give them the opportunity to be a part of producing the podcast. So what that will involve is if there is people who know how to do video editing, we will give them a couple of episodes to video edit and pay them a freelance on a freelance basis to do that. We will get people to do graphics for us for a couple of episodes and pay them to do that. We will invite people to host conversations and pay them to do that. So this is stuff that we normally do in-house at Map It Forward. We'll get other people to do it and pay them with the ad sponsorship money that you spend. If you're interested, email me, lee@mapitforward.org, and we will start a conversation. A couple of people have already reached out, and we will do as many ads as we can with the sponsorship money. Like if it means we got to do 3 ads at the beginning of every podcast, I'm fine with that. We could do 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end. I'm fine with that. What we will make sure though is that we will identify people in the industry that know how to do things with this platform, and we will give them a way to earn. Now, if we end up with excess money, what we will do is we will find ways to purchase grocery vouchers or any of that kind of stuff that we can give to people who aren't able to be supported by their employers. And we'll be able to do that with places around the world. So that's that. Now let's get on to what else we're going to talk about today. All right. Firstly, if you are not taking this situation seriously, I want to talk to you about what the coronavirus is very quickly. The coronavirus, well, the word coronavirus is a word that's used for a family of viruses. You may be hearing that this version of the coronavirus, COVID-19, is the same as the flu. It is not the same as the flu. As I said to you, I did not use a single tissue when this happened, when I got it. It does, however, act like a virus. When you get body ache, when you get a fever, those are symptoms that are indicative of a viral infection as opposed to a bacterial infection. And a bacterial infection, you will usually get stuff like diarrhea or vomiting or something like that. It usually will infect that kind of thing, unless it's like a proper disease that moves on in different ways. But the next thing I need you to know, they don't know a lot about COVID-19. But if you want to know what they do know, do not listen to anybody other than these two sources, the World Health Organization and the CDC. They will not print anything that they do not know to be factual. And you need factual information right now to help you keep your anxiety down. It's super, super important. Because once you go into isolation, all you have time to do is get online and listen to what everybody's saying. And that can be a total mindfuck. And I do not want you to go through that. So trust only sources that are telling you the facts. Everybody else is trying to get attention right now in a sea of noise. So don't do that. The press conference that I just listened to with Donald Trump, President Trump, is now advising that you should stay away from gatherings of 10 people or more. That is an escalation that happened over the last week of stay away from gatherings of 250 people. And yesterday they brought it down to 50 people. And now, less than half an hour ago, he said that you should not be in public places of 10 people or more. If you are a business owner and you are not taking this seriously and you are keeping your staff at work, hear me now. You are being negligent. You are putting your staff at risk. You are putting yourself at risk. Stop it. I just received a text message from someone I mentor telling me, Lee, my bosses have just told me that they're annoyed that President Trump has said this and they're not going to send us home. If you are one of those people, please stop it. This is hard enough for the service industry as it is, and you are then taking it to a completely other level by encouraging negligent behavior, by encouraging people to put themselves in harm's way. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not leadership. And speaking of leadership, at times like this, I think it's important to put aside what you think about the people who are running the country and who are running your state. Having opinions about these people right now is not going to help your anxiety. And what I would encourage all of us to do is to put faith, and I don't mean that word in the religious faith way. I want you all to hope that the people who are leading you are going to come up with the best possible response. Right now, having an opinion whether President Trump is doing this well or not is neither here nor there. What you want to do is be encouraging the best possible outcome for all of us. For anyone who still thinks that this is a hoax or this is a bio attack or anything like that, it doesn't fucking matter. This shit is serious. This is really serious now, and I want you to just focus on staying safe. Okay, next. What does this mean for businesses? The truth of the matter is we don't know. A lot of businesses are never going to be able to open again after this situation happens. And none of us are going to know what our industry looks like at the other side of this. In the press conference that President Trump just gave, he said that they anticipate that this pandemic may go on until July, August. He's not saying we'll be isolated till then, but he is saying that that could be the extent of what we're going to experience. Most businesses won't be able to survive till the end of this month closed, and we need to accept that that's the reality of what this industry is facing. In the coming episodes and the coming days, weeks and months, we're going to be here to support you as best as we can, and we're open to any ideas that we can advocate for around this situation. But if you're an employee and you're angry that you're not getting healthcare covered or you're not getting full wages while this is happening, remember that while what you're feeling is valid, what the people who employ you are feeling is equally as devastating as what you're experiencing. And they don't have to just deal with what's happening with them. They have to deal with the disappointment of not being able to carry you through this, which as a leader can be incredibly devastating. Now, if you're an employee, what does this mean for you? Equally, we don't know. What we do know, though, is that all of us are in the same boat. This is not something that's just happening to you in your local community or in your local city or even in your own country. This is a global pandemic, and around the world, people are being devastated. I am hearing stories where people have to fire 100 employees in one day, and they know that once they close their doors for their multiple cafes, they'll never be able to open them again because of how much debt they're carrying. That's a devastating situation for everybody: employees, employers, and investors. So I don't want anyone to think that they're the worst off in this. We are all experiencing challenging times. But here's the plus to it. On the other side of this, we are all going to be humbled. We are all going to have learnt so many things about ourselves that it's going to be incredibly enriching for all of our lives. We are all going to have learnt more about who true leadership is and who true leadership isn't. So I encourage you to step into that. Tomorrow, we are going to be joined by Sergey Kutskovsky. I'm sure I said that wrong. But the reason we're having Sergey on is because we're going to be talking about the conversations that you need to be having right now with your staff and with your employers. If you have not prepared, if you have not stocked up, the moment you stop listening to this, I want you to go and do it right now. Don't panic buy, don't overbuy. Have enough in your house for 2 to 4 weeks. If you are an employer and you're about to send your staff off for who knows how long, if you know you cannot pay them a full amount, please, I implore you, at least find a way to give them a grocery voucher for $150 so that they have enough food to cover them for the next month. Sergey is a manager for a large group of employees, and he is the middle person that had to have some really hard conversations over the weekend with his employees and negotiate on their behalf with his employer and their employer. And the negotiations came out fabulously. So we're going to bring him on the podcast for the Daily Coffee Pro tomorrow, and we're going to kind of dissect that. Now, this podcast will be released on the audio version the same day that we shoot it. So the same day we do the live stream on YouTube. So you won't have to wait till the next day. So you'll be getting this the same day that we get the information. I want to finish it off with an Arab proverb. In the Middle East, we say, in times of great sadness and great happiness, we forget what came before now and we all come together. So in this time, forget all the grudges that you had. Forget all the hate that you've got. Forget all the disrespect and all of those yucky feelings and things that you've got with people. Tend towards community. Find ways to be of service to yourself and to other people. And you will feel so much better for having done that. I cannot tell you. In these 5 days that I've so far experienced of isolation, the thing that's got me through it the most is the fact that I have been able to help other people confront challenging conversations. I have been of service to my community, and it has put me in tears a million times, but we all know how easily I cry. Find ways to be of service to people. Find ways to keep your mind occupied. Find ways to stay healthy. And you got this. We're going to be here for you. We're going to find ways to help support the community financially as much as we can. So on that note, we'll chat to you tomorrow. Peace, love and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy.